Three common issues that you can expect when you buy yourself a 2010 Nissan Murano. The Nissan Murano is one of the most popular mid-size SUVs that we have here in Zambia, competing against the likes of the Toyota Vanguard and the Toyota Harrier. The Murano is normally sold in two engine options here in Zambia. You get the 3.5-liter VQ engine and you get the 2.5-liter QR25. So the one that we have right here is the QR25, which is the more popular choice because of its lower fuel consumption and also the lower overall maintenance cost on the engine. So let's get into talking about some of the common issues that you can expect when you buy yourself a 2010 Nissan Murano with the QR25 engine. So the first common issue that you can expect when you buy yourself this Nissan Murano is high oil consumption. Much like the cars that it shares its platform with, the Toyota Vanguard and the Toyota Harrier, those have the 2AZ engine, which is a 2.4-liter from Toyota. That engine also has a high oil consumption problem, the same as this QR25 that you get in the Nissan. And basically, the reason behind the high oil consumption on both of those platforms, whether it's the 2AZ or the QR25, is the low tension piston rings that were used in the design of these engines. So both platforms have piston rings that are low tension. And basically what the engineers were trying to go for is an engine that has less friction as the pistons are moving up and down in the cylinders. But the trade-off when it comes to using low tension piston rings is that you have a situation where there is some oil that ends up going past that oil ring that you have at the bottom. And in some severe cases where, for example, you neglect to do your engine oil maintenance, you're going to have carbon buildup that's not cleaned up by detergent in the engine oil that is used. Then you're going to have your oil rings completely getting stuck, and then your oil consumption goes even higher, and you actually start to see it come out as blue smoke from the exhaust. So the low tension piston rings are the main cause of why these engines burn oil. So with the high oil consumption, there's pretty much only one thing that you can do to combat this, and that is using a higher viscosity oil. Most of these cars take 5W40, but at the end of the day, if you are going to be using 5W40 in this engine, then you're going to be replacing engine oil quite often. But using a thicker oil like a 10W40 can help to, reduce the oil consumption on the engine. But other than that, your only other option is to rebuild the engine, which I don't advise, because at the end of the day, when you go ahead and do that, you can open yourself up to other issues. But getting a better set of piston rings is another way that you can be able to, fix the problem. Now, the second common issue that you can expect when you buy yourself a 2010 Nissan Murano is with the Xtronic CVT transmission. This is a well-documented problem, and the information that I'm about to give you is not just going to apply to the Nissan Murano. It can also be helpful when you're trying to buy other Nissan platforms that have the same transmission that comes in this car. So when it comes to the Xtronic CVT transmission, one of the first big problems that these cars have has to do with the insufficient cooling of the CVT fluid inside the transmission. Just by design, they have a poorly designed cooling system for the transmission, and so the transmission tends to overheat due to the design of the cooling system. And once the transmission overheats, it can throw the car into a limp mode. And basically what a limp mode is it kind of cuts the power down from the engine. So you find that you're trying to accelerate, but you're only getting so much power from your engine. And that's basically because the transmission control unit has put the transmission in limp mode, where it won't allow the transmission to be stressed by the engine providing too much power, and that way it can allow the transmission to cool down and then take it out of limp mode and basically allow you to drive the car normally again. So when it comes to the cooling system of this transmission, there are some aftermarket solutions that you can buy to replace the original cooler that is in this car. The cooler it doesn't provide sufficient air that flows there. So once you're driving aggressively, accelerating hard as you overtake, maybe you're towing or you're going up, steep slopes and stuff like that, anything that puts the transmission under stress ends up overheating the transmission because of that insufficient cooling on the original cooler for this. So replacing the original cooler with an aftermarket one can help a lot in just making sure that the transmission doesn't overheat and you end up with that transmission going into limp mode. But also another thing that affects the transmissions on these Nissan cars is not doing your maintenance on the CVT fluid. CVT transmissions are very sensitive to the quality of the fluid that they are running. So you can't just be driving a car with a CVT transmission, and that's whether it's a Nissan, whether it's a Toyota. There's very well documented cases of even the Toyota Vanguard having problems with the transmission. People have gone through transmissions, and that's also basically because of ignoring maintenance on the CVT transmission. CVT fluid is also part of the cooling system when it comes to the transmission. So you can have an aftermarket cooler on the car, but if you still don't change your transmission fluid once it breaks down and it has worked over time, that transmission fluid is not able to carry heat away from the vital components of the transmission, and then you will still have a problem with the transmission. On average, some cars will require you to change every 60,000 kilometers. Some will go even less, maybe 30,000 kilometers. You have to change the CVT fluid. It's specific to each type of car. So you just need to know when your CVT fluid needs to be changed so that you don't have problems with your Xtronic CVT. Now, while it's important for you to change your CVT fluid, it's also important for you to note that you're using the right fluid when you're doing that fluid change on your CVT transmission. CVT transmissions are also sensitive to the type of fluid that you use, so you can't just go pick up any generic CVT fluid. You need to make sure that it is part of the approved types of CVT fluid that come from the manufacturer. So you can get an original CVT fluid from Nissan themselves, or you can pick up a high quality aftermarket CVT oil like this Puma CVT oil. So for the third and final thing, I wanted us to step out and actually look at the car. Another thing that is a problem on these is the suspension, but it's not just unique to this car. Even when I did the review of the Toyota Vanguard, it's a similar thing. The Nissan Murano is a pretty heavy car, makes it nice and stable on the road, but it also puts a lot of stress on the suspension. And also when it comes to the suspension on these cars, the parts are pretty expensive as compared to the Toyota Vanguard. So once you start to pay for things like, control arms being replaced, or if your shock absorbers go out, then you can be paying quite a pretty steep price tag. And also if you get parts that are not genuine, then you end up having to replace stuff multiple times in a short period. But if you get good quality parts, then you're just okay. Another key thing I should mention is engine mounts. So if you get, hard vibrations and jerking from the engine when you try to accelerate, you hear it make like a banging sound, then it could be engine mounts. This one is due for replacement. We're going to be replacing this engine mount and also the bigger one down here. These are aluminum, so there's nothing like press fitting a bushing into those. Whereas when it comes to the Toyota engine mounts, you find that you're able to press fit into those because they are steel. These are aluminum, so you have to replace those, and they are also not very cheap. So that's quite a bit of a drawback and a bit of a difference between this and the Toyota Vanguard. The Vanguard will be cheaper when it comes to replacing your suspension components and engine mounts, but this is a little bit more pricey, even though it is a lot more comfortable and a lot more stable on the road. I did a review a while back on the Toyota Vanguard, and it's pretty much the same experience that you're going to get over there as well. The suspension is strong and robust, but if you frequently carry heavy things and also live in an area where that suspension is going to take a lot of abuse, the Toyota Vanguard also has a similar thing. But definitely the parts on the Toyota Vanguard are going to be cheaper than those on the Nissan Murano. But other than that, they pretty much share the same problems: high oil consumption, CVT transmissions that can go bad due to thermal issues on the cooling system, and also not changing your CVT fluid, and also suspension issues if you don't properly maintain the suspension using high quality parts that you replace with, and also just making sure that you're driving in environments that don't put a lot of stress on the suspension components. So if you're in the market to buy a Nissan Murano, or a mid-size SUV, that can be your Toyota Vanguard, your Harrier, or your Nissan Murano, then you have some better information about the Nissan Murano. And do you own a Nissan Murano? Let us know what your experience has been owning this Nissan Murano. Have you experienced some of these issues, or do you have some awesome testimonies where you've had